Hello, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to CCS in the Advanced League for week 3 action. We got Comfy Gaming Shield taking on USC JV. I'm Rychainz, joined by Sutekh. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Rychainz. How has your week been going?
Pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. Happy it's Friday though, and happy we get to see it. Two undefeated teams facing off against each other on the Rift today. We are flying through the band faces. Anivia Jarvan and Echo taken away by Comfy Gaming, and Amumu Mordekaiser and Asol taken off the table by USC. And just like that, first pick Caitlyn coming out here.
Yeah, and I really like the first pick Caitlyn from this team. This is something that a lot of teams actually don't do anymore. Normally you'll see like a first pick Zaya, especially in plot leagues, but the Caitlyn kind of denies the Zaya coming out, and then we obviously see Lulu and Vi, so they don't actually know what AD they want to pick up just yet until they see support. So
Yep, and a lot of the times when you see that Lulu picked, you think, okay, it's going to be some sort of attack speed champion. Zeri has been the most popular one at the high level, paired up with Lulu. You can also play Kaisa, you can play Zaya, and so a few options there to look forward to seeing. But Wukong is the next hover here, and I think Wukong, another one of those champs that's very popular right now in the meta.
yeah, and this is kind of the classic matchup on this patch. You'll see Vi and Wukong in the jungle constantly in both LCK and LPL. The Blitzcrank that's being hovered right now is a very good answer into Lulu, and we're going to see it locked in. I'm kind of expecting a Zeri or a Sivir here from USC, and there's the Zeri lock-in. The only reason I would consider Sivir here is just because of the spell shield and the inability to actually get hooked by that Blitzcrank. He has to physically walk up and proc your spell shield.
Yeah, and I've actually been seeing a lot more Sivir play recently. Just building Kraken and kind of scaling up, trying to hit late game and deal a lot of damage in the team fights. Have you seen any of that recently or not? No.
Yeah, my team actually plays a ton of Sivir, so we,
Okay.
so that's exactly what we do. We just go Kraken Sivir, and we'll play like Rel, or we'll play some form of engaged tank with it, and not exactly the Lulu, but we'll play like stuff like Karma. We do see an Olaf and an Ornn band, so most of these bands in the second phase, I'm going to assume are going to be targeted towards the solo laners because neither of them are picked right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing pretty standard when it comes to draft order, bot lane and what we presume to be the junglers picked up here. Obviously, both of these champs can also go top. I've been seeing some lethality vibe mid as well. I doubt we'll get that today, but just options to keep an eye out for. LeBlanc taken off the table. Soul will not be able to play that one, and Victor, the last band to round it out. So red 4 here, I expect to see. Usually, you expect to see mid laners here, unless it's just like a tank top. What do you think? You have any idea?
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
see
okay.
Azir.
There you go. That's there.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. The only other thing I would really consider here is like Oriana. I think she's really strong, but we are seeing a Jace hover, and I'm not too sure that I really like Jace as a blind unless this guy is a huge Jace player. This champ has a lot of pitfalls, and if it has a bad lane phase, it kind of doesn't really do anything in the rest of the game. Um, we do see
Yep.
it locked in though, so it'll be interesting to see how his lane phase does go. There are a lot of counter picks for this chase for the side of USC, so I'm expecting to see like a Malphite or something that can just dominate the lane into it. Malphite is actually a very good counter into the Jace. He doesn't really care about getting knocked away because he does have that unstoppable force.
Vigar is going to be the last pick here coming out for Comfy Gaming to match up against Azir in that mid lane. Last pick for USC. What do they opt for? You already mentioned Malphite has the potential to come out here, and that's the hover. We'll see if they go for it here as not much magic damage coming out from Comfy Gaming besides that Vigar. So armor stacking is going to be pretty helpful in this game. We'll see yeah, there you go. It is locked in here. So Malphite is the choice for USC into this top lane.
Yeah, and I actually really like the Malphite pick, especially after we see the Veigar on Blue 5. It denies a lot of the zone control that Comfy Gaming are looking for by just being unstoppable during this ultimate and getting a huge ult in the team fight. So I do really like the final draft decision here, despite the counter pick not being used for some form of carry champion in the top lane. This pick should still have a lot of impact in terms of overall game priority for the side of USC.
Yeah, absolutely. It does give them that go button along with the Vi. It gives the follow up for when that Vi opts to go in here. I don't know if it might have been yesterday, last night, but I was watching LCK and I saw Vi into Caitlyn, and it is so hard to get away from Vi if you're playing Caitlyn unless you have really, really good traps. So I'm interested to see what Guatemalon's gonna be able to do on this Caitlyn and especially adding in that Malphite, just another thing that you have to be careful of and position around.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Veigar this game because a lot of the fights that are going to happen are going to really revolve around how many people he's able to zone with his cage. If he can find a 2 or 3 man cage and Malphite decides that he's going to R when his team is caged, the Malphite does just have they do have an opportunity to blow up this Malphite instantly at the beginning of a fight and play front to back. So I'm really looking at this Veigar to find big cages, so that his team can either hook a carry or they can try and blow the Malphite ult earlier.
How do you feel about the Vigar pick into Azir? Are you liking that, or will you think something else might have been better?
I think something else might have been better, but I think with the range buffs on both the Q and the W, I believe is what that buff was on this patch. I think it might actually be Veigar favored towards level 6. Although I'm not really too sure in terms of mid lane matchups, I'm not really caught up right now. But I think it's probably Veigar favored with the range buffs and all of the Azir mana nerfs.
Yeah, I think that does make sense. Um, Other than that, I mean, we kind of see the similarities of and what these teams want to go for overall, right? Where we have USC who has the scaling composition with the Azir, with the Zeri and the Lulu, who is they're going to be fine to just kind of scale and farm up. On the other side, you also have that Viger who has infinite scaling as well. What do you expect each of these teams' game plans to be we get onto the Rift?
I am expecting USC to just chill out, maybe look for a couple of ganks with this Spy. They really want to just spec scale up. They are a Zeri's here comp after all. And for the side of Comfy Gaming, I'm looking for them to really push the pace, especially on top side here. Now that we see like the Malphite come out on R5, it's really hard for the Chase to find a lot of pressure in this lane and actually win the lane on his own. So I'm gonna be looking at Wukong to maybe like directly at level 4 or level 6 to come up to this top lane and influence the matchup. Otherwise, they're gonna have a really hard time just trying to play poke into Malphite Vi comp. Um, I also am expecting Comfy Gaming Shield to be the team that has to be at the objectives first with their vision control, especially since they do have the Blitzcrank. In order for this pick to work, you need to have insane vision priority over your opponent. Um, and especially in these higher tier games, it's really hard to pull this Blitzcrank off. So that's what I'm looking for from both teams.
Absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Only time will tell. We have completed in the in client pick and ban system. So we're going to take a short break as we get through this competitive integrity spectator delay. Get your votes in, but we'll be right back.